So you've got this incredible world-changing idea, right? You've got the business plan, you've got the drive, but what if I told you the one thing that will make or break your entire venture isn't your product? It's not your funding, it's your team. Let's really dig into how to build that dream team, the one that's going to be your key to survival and ultimately success.
All right, let's just get this out of the way first. It's a pretty sobering fact. We all know launching something new is risky, but the reality is most new ventures, they fail. The odds are kind of stacked against you from day one. So what is this invisible force that makes so many amazing ideas just crash and burn?
Well, it really comes down to this concept called the liability of newness. Think of it as the startup world's final boss. It's a real double-edged sword. On one hand, you've got a team that's new to their roles, new to working together, and that creates a ton of friction and a super steep learning curve. And on the other hand, your company has zero track record. So getting customers, investors, and partners to trust you, it's a massive uphill battle.
So this whole liability of newness thing, it creates what you could basically call the startup death trap. This is the hurdle every single founder has to figure out how to clear. Overcoming it is, without a doubt, the first and most critical mission for any new company.
Okay, so with this huge challenge staring you right in the face, how in the world do you beat the odds? Well, overcoming this isn't about some secret formula or a magic trick. It's about having a very, very deliberate strategy. And that strategy, you could almost call it the hero of our story, is assembling a powerful new venture team. This is your single greatest weapon against that liability of newness. A strong team can learn faster, build credibility, and navigate all those crazy challenges way more effectively than a founder trying to fly solo.
So what is a new venture team exactly? It's so much more than just the people on your payroll. It's the entire ecosystem of people who are dedicated to taking your idea and turning it into a real, living, breathing business. We're talking everyone from your co-founders to the key advisors you call when you're stuck.
And this visual really captures that ecosystem perfectly. You see the founder there, right at the center, but look at everything that's orbiting them. Key employees, managers, boards, advisors, even investors. Every single one of these is a crucial gear in the machine, and we're about to break down how they all fit together.
All right, let's start building this thing out from the inside. The absolute heart of your venture is its core players. I'm talking about the founders and those first key employees who jump on board and join the mission. You know that classic image of the lone genius tinkering away in a garage? Well, think again. It turns out that a whopping 50 to 70% of all new ventures are actually started by teams. The solo founder is the exception, not the rule. Now look, there are pros and cons to both approaches. On one hand, a team brings way more brainpower, more resources, and that really crucial psychological support. But on the flip side, it also brings the potential for conflict. A solo founder has total control, yeah, but they're also carrying the entire weight of the world on their shoulders, all alone. So, if you're building a team, what's the secret sauce? What makes a founding team really click? Well, research points to these key traits. You absolutely need diverse skills to cover all your bases. Having worked together before is huge because it means you've already worked out some of the communication kinks. Keeping the team small, 2 to 3 founders is often that sweet spot, helps you stay nimble. And finally, having prior experience in the industry or as an entrepreneur, that's not just a bonus, it's a massive advantage that helps you dodge all those common rookie mistakes. But let's be real for a second. No team is perfect right out of the gate. You're going to have strengths, sure, but you're also going to have weaknesses. So the million-dollar question is this: how do you take an honest look at your team and figure out exactly what or who is missing? I've got a simple but incredibly powerful tool for that. It's called the Skills Profile. You literally just map out all the critical skills your venture needs to survive: leadership, marketing, finance, you name it. Then you plot your current team against those skills. And those empty boxes that pop up, those aren't weaknesses. They're your hiring roadmap. It's a super clear visual way to see exactly where you need to focus your energy. Okay, so you've got your core team in place. Now it's time to build out that next layer, your brain trust. These are the external advisors, the heavy hitters who are going to give you that high-level guidance you need to navigate what's coming. Now you're going to hear 2 terms thrown around a lot here: the board of directors and the board of advisors. And it is absolutely essential to know the difference. A board of directors is formal, it's legally required for corporations. Its members have a real legal responsibility to the shareholders. An advisory board, on the other hand, is totally informal. It has no legal power. Its one and only job is to give you advice. Don't think of a formal board of directors as just some legal checkbox you have to tick. No way. They handle critical stuff, from appointing your CEO to providing expert guidance.
And, this is huge, they lend you legitimacy. Having respected industry veterans on your board sends a powerful signal to investors and customers that you are the real deal.
So which one is right for a startup just getting off the ground? This quote really nails it. It's often way easier to attract top-tier talent to an advisory board. Why? Because the lower time commitment and the fact that there's no legal liability makes it a much easier yes for those experienced pros you really want in your corner.
You know, building a great team is as much about avoiding the big mistakes as it is about making all the right moves. So let's talk about the most common traps that founders fall right into.
First up, avoid hiring your friends or family unless they are genuinely, without a doubt, the best person for the job. Second, don't assume that a rock star from one industry will automatically be a rock star in yours. Third, and this one is critical, don't try to be a one-person team. Investors want to see a scalable organization, not a dictatorship. And finally, if you want to attract top talent, you have to give them a piece of the pie. Equity matters a lot. And these last two mistakes are huge. First, don't hide your weaknesses. Being honest about your team's skill gaps actually shows self-awareness, and investors love that. But it's not enough to just admit you have gaps. You have to have a clear, concrete plan for how you're going to fill them. Vague promises just won't cut it. So let's bring it all back to where we started. Remember that liability of newness, that giant monster that threatens your startup's survival? Well, as we've just seen, the most powerful antidote, the best weapon you have, is a well-constructed, diverse, and dedicated team. It is your single greatest asset, period.
And that really just leaves us with one final crucial question. You might be 100% confident in your idea, in your product, in your market, but take a good, honest look at the people around you. Your idea is ready? Is your team?